Hey everybody, Health Coach Erin here. Today we are going to be talking about a hot topic in nutrition, sugar. So there seems to be some confusion about sugar, but I think it's for good reason. Sugar can be kind of confusing. There are lots of different types of it, and it comes from different sources, and there are lots of questions: what's good, what's bad. It can be hard to decipher. So for simplicity's sake today, I'm going to break it down into two large categories: naturally occurring and processed sugar. First, I will say that the standard American diet, or the SAD, as you may have heard me refer to it previously, is so chocked full of sugar that it's honestly alarming. Part of the reason for this is the sheer amount of processed and packaged foods that we eat. There are so many available in the grocery stores. Next time you walk in, just take notice about how many packaged processed foods there are. It's a bit overwhelming. Sometimes foods with lots of processed and added sugars in them can even look really healthy. The box may be green and it may have, really healthy people on it hiking. I don't know. But this is where our label reading skills and our ingredient reading skills become really important for us. This is where we can identify the types of sugar, how much added sugar per serving, and just how much sugar overall is in the product. I encourage people to just begin to cultivate an awareness for themselves of how much sugar they're actually taking in a day. I don't want people to get in the habit of, counting every gram of this or that, but just kind of a general awareness of how much sugar we actually get can actually help us with our nutritional plan. Culprits of lots of added and processed sugars tend to be things like breakfast cereals. Food manufacturers and their advertising agencies are great about making really colorful boxes that draw us in. They're great at targeting kids. But unfortunately, while there may be lots of added and processed sugars, there's typically not a whole lot of other nutritive things going on. So that's an issue in itself. We've all had too much sugar, too much processed sugar, and we get spiked up and really energized really quickly, and then what happens? Oh, the dreaded crash. It doesn't feel good. We don't want that to happen. And we're likely not getting the nutrients that our body actually needs, because lots of the things that are naturally occurring in foods get processed out when those foods have the added sugars put in and all that processing. So next, we're going to move on to the natural sugars. Naturally occurring sugars are in really, really healthy foods. I know that seems kind of counterintuitive when we think of sugar. It's been a little bit demonized along with some other things. But when you think about extremely healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, those have naturally occurring sugar in them. The big difference between those foods, like an apple, and your average breakfast cereal, is that naturally occurring sugar is naturally packaged with a whole lot of other great things for our bodies. So we're talking fiber, we're talking potassium, we're talking water, we're talking phytonutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, all of the things that our bodies need. So those sugars don't really concern us the way that the added and processed sugars do. Our bodies, because they have things like fiber, and because we tend to eat them with other things like a healthy Greek yogurt or a dollop of natural peanut butter. They tend to process through much slower. Our bodies recognize them a little bit differently, and it doesn't give us the crash that the added processed sugars do. So having said all of that, there will be some folks among us who may really need to watch their sugar intake, maybe even every gram. Some of those folks may have illnesses or diseases like diabetes or be pre-diabetic. And so their nutritionists or healthcare practitioners can help them determine what's right for them and whether they need to really work to avoid it or what types that they can include in. But overall, so we've, just to kind of recap, we've generalized naturally occurring sugars and the processed sugars. And every time I'm going to go with those naturally occurring sugars, like in an apple, versus even our healthy looking packaged granola bars, which can really pack a punch of sugar. So now you're more aware, and if you need to talk more, I'm here to help. Reach out to me, get in touch. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.